Alright, now one thing I just want to mention, if anything's getting hot, LED really shouldn't get warm in any sort of fashion. You might feel a slight warmth, but it really shouldn't be any sort of heat, as well as the battery. So look, if everything's cool, then everything should be working okay. Now, to test amperage in a circuit, I'm going to use my wonderful meter here, which is pretty average. I've got it set to milliohms, 200 milliohms. It's just crappy. To measure amperage in a circuit, you have to actually break that circuit and get your meter in the middle of it, or in between it somewhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it down here where the positive is. Pull that out first. And now you want to treat your multimeter as part of the circuit, and you've got your positive and negative from your multimeter. These are just alligator clips that I've connected up to the leads. So red to red, black to black. And so I'm going to pretend that I'm coming in like I would a battery in here. Sorry, I'll start with the negative. Now, what's going to happen is the current is going to go through your multimeter and come out the other end. This in the same sort of fashion it does with a battery. So we're going to plug the negative to actually where we had the positive before. Okay, I hope that makes some sense. And now we're going to get in between, I don't know why I had that there, the battery. I'm going to hook the battery up through positive to the positive of the multimeter, like so, and you can see the LEDs come back on. So what we have now is the current is going from here into the multimeter, through the multimeter, back out, and into the circuit. So in fact we've cut the circuit, got our multimeter into it, but it's still working. Now you can see that's actually running at 22 milliamps, which is more than we expected, but not much. I'll say that's because if I put my probes up to this as voltage, it'll be more than 2 volts. It'll be 2.4, 2.8, something like that. Okay, so you can see that even though I don't actually have 350 ohms resistance, I have 300 only, and sorry about the focus, and it's still okay. 22 milliamps is fine. It's not getting particularly hot. You could probably go more, drop it down a little bit less milliamps if you want. No problems with that. Okay. Now what we might do is look at multiple LEDs. Now, different colors. In general, the colors don't really draw different amperage. Some of them, obviously the blue ones and the high power ones, they take more. Actually, I don't know how much amperage they take. I've never had one, but I know they take more voltage. Now, if I want to put this thing, if I want to get another LED in here, what I'll do is I'll switch to my decent focus mode. Hold on a sec. Okay, we've got some focus now. Now you pretty much, most of the time you're going to want to run LEDs in series, just because the well, it's easier just because you only have to worry about one set of resistors. If you run them in parallel, which is like they both have their own separate connection to the voltage source, then you're going to have to put resistance for each one separately, and that gets a bit more complicated. So easiest thing is we're going to connect up this LED across there. So we now have this LED in the circuit. It's going through the, so the voltage, I've still got my multimeter attached, that's why this is now a blue cable, but we're going to leave it attached. So now the voltage is going through these 3 resistors, dropping into here, out of there, and we're now going to connect up the red LED in series. So coming into here, down to there, across this diode, this LED, light emitting diode, down this leg, into this leg, back up, down through that one, and into there. Now this is in the wrong place, that's why nothing's happening, because this is in a different rail here. So I'm going to move that, and hopefully if I connect this, we have light. Now what you'll find is these still light, and that green one's actually quite bright, but I don't think it's because it's getting any more amperage. It's just because it's a different LED and it shows up nicer. What you'll see though, if I can get this in here, is it's now drawing 15.7 milliamps on this circuit.